Anyway, so yeah, this... Shall I begin, if we're all ready for a laugh?
How long is it, really?
Pretty much the same length as Pinkie Pie Learns a New Word at most, because I haven't read this yet. This is a completely blind reading.
Yeah, so was my cupcakes, sadly.
Yeah, so that makes two of us. We both had a blind reading, both of us.
Make that 3.
Alright, so if we're ready to begin this madness...
Go right
Get her
ahead.
done away.
Yeah. Yes. Let's begin. This is Larry the Cable Guy Goes to Equestria by Kick-Ass 222 Your Mom. Author's note, I'm just going to say this. This is a full-on comedy story, meaning everything that happens is meant for comedy, so don't take all this too serious. Don't know if I got his personality down, but I think I did an okay job. One last thing, his real name is Daniel Lawrence Whitney, but I'm just going to call him Larry to stop confusion.
What?
Yes, Larry the Cable Guy has a real name, Daniel Lawrence Whitney.
Oh. Well, everyone calls him Larry, but...
I thought his real name was Larry.
Anyways,
I seriously
let's,
thought that.
shall I begin?
Start away.
Right away, this is Larry the Cable Guy Goes to Equestria. You okay, Larry? One of the cameramen asked as Larry put the heavy double pepper burger down and grabbed his... Let me read that again so that it'll settle in your minds. A heavy double pepper burger. You all heard that.
That would probably be coming back to haunt him in a few days. Depending on how tolerable this person is to hot peppers. Because I eat them, it burns. If it burns my mouth, it'll be burning when it comes out.
Alright.
Ouch.
Ah! Anyways. Yeah, I think the dogs are trying to break out a kennel, he said as he glanced around looking for a restroom. But alas, there were no restrooms out in the middle of a logging area, only a porta potty. Should we stop filming? Another asked. Larry began to stiffly walk towards the porta potty. Yes, unless you want some footage of me on the pot. Oh boy.
Let's continue.
Yes. We'll pass, Larry once said, lowering his camera. Larry pulled the plastic door open and shuffled in, pulling it closed behind himself. Dropped his shorts, sat in the pod, looked at the door, and chuckled. Almost forgot the lock, commented as he reached forward and switched the lock over to green to show it was occupied. I thought it was red.
It normally is. The guy must have had it ass backwards.
After a few seconds, he gripped the side of the porta potty and began to straighten himself. Lord Almighty! Okay, not actual comedy yet. Seconds later, the sounds of water splashing all around filled the small enclosed space filled by sighs of relief. Finished up his business and used a whole roll of toilet paper. No, that's gotta be astonishing.
Shit.
As he stood up and pulled up his shorts, he heard a gurgling sound coming from the dark hole of the toilet.
What? Uh-oh.
Oh boy, I think I know where this is going.
Larry buttoned his shorts and turned to face the toilet. The gurgling sound continued as he leaned down to peer into the hole. Upon looking into the dark abyss, he could see the water, among other things, bubbling upwards like air was being blown upward under it.
That can't be good.
Nope, it can't be. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
He raised an eyebrow and stood up straight. He turned his head and yelled, "Hey, there's something wrong with this toilet!" Before he could get a reply, he heard a burping sound like water going down a long tunnel. When he looked back, he saw a light in the toilet. Curious, he leaned down and put his face above the hole. Suddenly, the water shot upward and slammed into his face. Before he could react, his body was pulled forward and somehow through the small hole of the toilet. His entire body was then pulled down a tiny tunnel, which is impossible. How could his large body go through something so small?
Pull the seat up.
Okay. He was pulled downward with an incredible force, going through many sharp turns. A heavy, musty smell slammed into him, filling his nostrils. He grabbed his nose and plunged it with his fingers. Ah, I can taste it! He exclaimed as he began to gag on the smell. Up ahead he saw a small light. It slowly began to get larger, but not much. His body then slammed into the tiny opening and burst through it, stretching the hole to fit his body. He slammed into the ground and slid a few feet, water and other filth flowing all around him. He groaned and held his head. Dang, this is like the time I agreed to be a boxing target. Seriously? Okay.
Something tells me, yeah. Let's continue.
Yes. As he stood and snatched up his hat, he heard a loud groan behind him. He placed his hat back on his head and turned around. Whoa! he exclaimed as he saw a blue horse laying on the ground and facing away from him, its back legs spread on the ground. Its hindquarters were spread out painfully. I wonder who this could be. Larry splashed over to it, the small puddles of dirty toilet water all around him. He reached the miniature horse and put a hand on its back. Damn, what happened to you? Did a crazy fella get a hold of you? As Larry chuckled to himself, the horse spoke. Ow, what happened? It moaned as it winced in pain. Larry looked down at the horse and pulled his hand away. Did you just talk? What? It asked, eyes so close tight. Larry's eyes widened and he jumped back. He tripped over his foot and fell on his ass, still looking at the strange talking horse.
Continue. Let's see what happens.
He tripped over his foot and fell on his ass, still looking at the strange talking horse.
I think we're in Equestria now.
Yes. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. You can talk? He questioned, looking at the horse form in shock. Of course I can talk, he groaned loudly again. Please, get me to a hospital. Larry stood up and backed away from the talking horse. I knew sniffing that gasoline was a bad idea.
What?
I knew sniffing that gasoline was a bad idea.
I knew it.
Okay. The horse groaned and opened its eyes. Are you going to help me, or... Its eyes rested on Larry. Oh my, what are you? Larry looked at the horse in slight confusion and shock. Me? He took a few steps back. I should be asking you that. What are you? The horse pushed itself up with its front legs and tried to stand, but its back legs didn't seem to work right, causing it to fall back down. I'm a pony. What else could I be? Now, please, help me get to a hospital. 1 second. Sorry, I thought I was on Steam. Alright. Larry looked around, just now noticing everything looked way too colorful. He furrowed his brow and turned to see a town through the tree line. Be right back, little horse pony thing, Larry called back as he began to trudge through the bushes and foliage. What? No, don't leave me here! The horse called out as it tried to crawl after him. Larry laughed to himself as he pushed branches out of his way. A talking horse, who would have thunk it? I can think of a few good people.
Yep.
After a few minutes of forcing his way through the thick forest, he reached the edge. As he stepped over, his left leg caught in a vine, causing him to lose his footing and fall forward. He crashed through the bushes that surrounded the tree line and hit the ground with a heavy thud. As soon as he hit the ground, he heard the terrified shrieks of young girls. Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
That can't be good.
He groaned and pushed himself up, his head jammed over his face. Oh, I think... Yeah, it's a spelling error. It should be hat. Girls, don't worry. It's just me, Larry the Cable Guy, you know? Get her done. I sound so much like a stereotypical Western asshole. The girls, however, continued to scream in terror. What? Just because I'm fat doesn't mean I'm going to eat you. Oh, we did not just say that.
Oh, dude. That's the worst case to say. That's the worst thing to say.
Yes. When he looked over at the source of the screaming, he recoiled. It was more horses. This time they looked to be young ones. There was a white one, an orange one, and a slightly yellow one.
Oh, God. The Crusaders! What's worse? The fact we're dealing with fillies, or the fact we're dealing with Larry, or Wade?
I think this is so surreal. Okay. But he looked at the three horses and all. This is getting weird. Calm down, I'm not going to hurt you, he said, trying to regain control of the situation. The white horse turned and hightailed it out of there. They were running straight for the town. However, the other two stayed behind and stopped screaming, looking at him with cautious curiousness. What are you? The yellow one asked with a heavy country accent. Larry chuckled and tilted his hat. I'm Larry, a slightly overweight redneck.
Slightly.
They both looked at him strangely. You're a redneck? What's that? The same horse asked. Larry laughed and looked towards town. Oh, you know, a country hick, or that's what most go by. He cocked his head when he saw more horses moving about in the town. What's going on here? He asked no one in particular. What do you mean? The orange one asked, looking up at him in awe. Larry pointed at the strange, colorful town. That! They looked at it, then back at him. What? They both asked in confusion. Yeah, I think we could answer the same thing for a lot of people for things in this fanfic. He furrowed his brow and began to walk towards it. Hey, where are you going? One of them asked. Larry looked over his shoulder and tipped his cap at them. Just going to check out the town, see you gals around. He turned back and shuddered. What in the hell's going on? Talking horses? Sounds like a little girl's fantasy.
He has no idea, does he? I'm going to go to the bathroom. You guys continue on reading. Just go ahead and continue reading.
Okay.
Okay,
He lifted his cap and wiped some sweat off his forehead. After a few minutes' walk, he arrived on the outside of the town. A few horses stopped walking and looked his way, all of them cocking their heads in confusion. A few either ran off or ducked back in the buildings. Larry looked at all of them, all staring at him. He smiled and waved. He knows how to lighten up a crowd. Hey everyone, how's it going? None of them responded, only stared. Listen, I just blew out the anus of a horse back Okay. I just blew out the anus of a horse back there and kind of smelled like crap. Anyone know a good French maid? This caused a few of them to look at him with faces of disgust, but he got a laugh out of one of them in the background. Tough crowd, he muttered himself. Oh! A loud, cheerful voice yelled out. Before Larry could look back in the direction of the shouting, a pink... Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
A pink horse jumped in front of him, scaring him shitless. He yelped in surprise and jumped back, holding up his arm. Ah! Don't hurt me! Hurt you? Why would I hurt you? Oh, is this a game? Am I supposed to hurt you? Should I? Oh. Is this a game? Am I supposed to hurt you? Should I? Yep. Larry looked over the overly happy horse and smiled nervously. Hey there, talking pink fluff ball of a horse. Hiya, my name's Pinkie Pie. What's yours? She yelled out excitedly, bouncing in place. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Larry the Cable Guy meeting Pinkie Pie. What could possibly go wrong?
Many things.
Larry couldn't help but laugh at this. I'm Larry the Cable Guy. Cable Guy? Pinkie Pie said, tapping her chin. Does that mean you work on cables? He chuckled and shook his head. No, it's mine. Oh, wait a minute. You're new in town. How can I forget? I think we know where this is going.
Yep.
It's that welcoming party. Before he could ask any questions, Pinkie Pie jumped into the air and shot off, leaving a dust cloud of her former self behind her before she would a twilight sparkle and said, I'm going to fuck you! I'm so sorry. It was just hanging in the air for me to make a Pinkie Pie learns a new word reference again. Gonzo, what the fuck? Die?
There we go. Did I miss
You
anything?
missed it, you Gonzo.
Did I miss anything?
Did you miss it, Gonzo? Did you miss it?
What did I miss?
I said, before he could ask any questions, Pinkie Pie jumped into the air and shot off, leaving a cloud dust. She jumped into the air and shot off, leaving a dust cloud of her former self behind her before she ran up to Twilight Sparkle and said, I'm going to fuck you!
Oh, man.
Let me guess. Did you end up finishing the story, or am I just? Oh.
Nope, I'm still going. Larry looked at the dust cloud as it slowly faded away. He scratched the back of his neck and looked around. What just happened? When no one answered him, he then walked into the town, passing by a few buildings that looked more like stores. He continued down what looked like to be the main road, hoping to see at least one person he could talk to. But he saw no one, just more and more horses. After a few minutes of walking, his stomach roared in fury. He stopped and gave it a pat. Hang on, big fella, I'll feed you soon. He glanced around at the buildings and the horses who still watched him. Anyone know a place to get something to eat? When no one answered, he added, This piece of a stomach doesn't get food soon, we're all gonna die. A few of the horses shifted nervously, while a few pointed quickly to a large, food-covered building. Oh, God.
Great.
He found Sugar Cube Corner. We're screwed, people. We're fucked. Larry looked at the building and raised an eyebrow. Houseman desserts? He then looked at all the ponies and smirked. Oh no, I'm not falling for that old trick. Send the fat guy into the candy-coated building to be turned into Did he just make a cupcakes reference?
What?
He said, I'm not falling for that old trick. Send the fat guy into the candy-coated building to be turned into food. Oh my god, he did make a cupcakes.
It might have been a Hansel and Gretel reference.
I know, but it still sounded like a... Anyways.
Yeah.
He then laughed, waiting for the horses to join in. When they didn't, he rubbed his face. This is a tough crowd, he muttered as he trudged towards the large building. When he reached the building, he gawked up at it. What am I supposed to do? Eat the building? He asked anyone who was listening. He shrugged and grabbed hold of a loose piece of the building. He brought it to his mouth and sunk his teeth in. Yep, bad move. He instantly threw the wooden board to the side and began to spit out a small piece of wood. Ah, shit! Why did I just do that? I know, because you're stupid.
Yep.
Seriously. Yep. He smiled and pulled out a splinter. Hey, I guess they like me getting hurt. I'm not going to appeal to that. The food's inside, one horse, still laughing. Larry looked at the door and chuckled. Thank you kindly. He then walked towards the door and pushed it open. On the other side, he saw a few horses sitting at tables. He looked around until he saw a counter with one behind it and trudged over. A horse on the other side, a yellowish one, looked up and gulped. Well, hello there, he said nervously. Larry propped himself up on the counter and looked at the horse. I'm told this is the place to go for food. And the horse nodded slowly. Yes, it is. What can we get for you? Larry smiled. That's what I like to hear. Give me a burger with bacon. Oh, and don't go over stuff on the burger. Horse raised an eyebrow. Bacon? What's that? Now it was Larry's turn to raise an eyebrow. Don't tell me you never heard of bacon. It's strips of goodness. What is it, though? He asked. Larry rubbed his chin. You really don't know what it is? Well then, bacon comes from pigs. The way I like it is covered in massive amounts of grease. The horse recoiled. From pigs? Larry nodded and rubbed his stomach. Of course, they're good eating. Best kind of farm grown, though. You always slice them just right. The horse covered its mouth and gagged. You ate pigs? Larry noticed that the horse wasn't taking too well to this, so he changed his order. I changed my mind. You at least have hamburgers? The horse looked at him, small like a 4 on his face. What's that? The meat from a cow ground up and pressed into a patty. Wow, he's sure making this so easy for them to understand. Oh, sick! How could you eat that? The horse said in disgust. Larry held up his hands. Hey, if it tastes good, I eat it. Get out of my bakery! The horse yelled, face slightly green. Why? I haven't done anything. Yet, Larry said as he slowly stood up. Out! I won't have meat eaters in my bakery! It said sternly, pointing to the door. Larry backed up slowly, holding his hand up. Okay, buddy. I'm going. Once Larry was back outside, he saw that the horses were still watching him. He waved nervously and pointed beside himself. Man doesn't sell meat. What's with that? Apparently they didn't get the joke because they all looked at him like he was crazy. Larry thought for a second, and then he clapped his hands together. You know, the last time I was in front of a crowd like this was back in high school when I was playing football. What? I didn't know you had to wear pants with a uniform. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. He laughed, but stopped when he noticed no one else was. Very, very tough crowd. He muttered as he wiped more sweat off the top of his head. He looked around, still hungry. He began to walk down the street, watching as the horses moved about, keeping their eyes on him. That's the thing! He heard a high-pitched voice cry out. Larry stopped and looked around until he saw the same white horse from before, the small one. Next to her was another white horse. With a horn? Oh, shit.
Rarity.
As he started to question this, he saw that the smaller horse also had a horn. Now he was confused. Unicorns? The larger one looked at the smaller one. What is it? I don't know! The smaller one squeaked. It's an ape! One of the horses in the back yelled. An ape? Yes, I can tell, the taller one remarked. Larry shook his fist at him. Hey, I'm no ape. I just act like one to scare the kids off. Oh, yeah, real subtle there, buddy. Again, no one laughed. He rubbed his small beard and shook his head. I'm going to make you all laugh. It's the last thing I do. After watching them for a few seconds, he continued down the street. As he walked down the stone road, he heard the horses behind him make comments about his looks. He He had many opportunities to crack a joke, but decided against each, seeing as they didn't find him funny at least. A thought popped into his head, causing him to stop walking. Where am I even going? He asked himself. Looked around. Find the most interesting place and go to it. There was a cart selling soap, which he needed. It was a large building. Shouldn't go near large buildings like that anymore, not after his incident a few years ago. But one building did catch his eye. A house in a tree. House in a tree? So it's a tree house. Oh, God, that was
lame.
Lame.
This is why they probably would prefer Ron White in here. He probably makes
one snicker. Just one snicker was heard. He face palmed and walked up towards the treehouse type building. He reached the door. He knocked on it a few times. No answer. He looked at the door and saw a heart-shaped hole into it. He chuckled and leaned forward to peer inside. When he saw no one... Oh, God, I just realized it. He put his head through the hole and glanced around. Before he could react, the door was engulfed in a purple aura. Yup. The door was then threw open, with his head still in the hole. He body slammed into the tree, causing him to lose his footing. He then fell backwards, ripping the whole door off the hinges. Oh my. Hello? Who's there? Purple horse with a horn asked as it walked into the open doorway. When it looked down and saw Larry sitting on the ground, the door was still stuck on his head. It gasped. My door! Why did you break it? Sorry, let me throw it. Larry chuckled and began to try and remove the door from his neck. I was just making a smashing entrance. Oh.
Why? Why?
Oh man.
Okay, let me do this again. Why? Why?
Why, Larry? Why?
Wake the fuck up!
Okay. Finally, he got a few ponies to laugh at one of his jokes. Feeling proud of himself, he stood up and continued to try and get the door off. Oh, come on! My head's too big for the hole! He didn't talk to himself. Again, I say the wrong things at the wrong time. I can get that off for you, the purple horse said as his horn glowed. To Larry's supplies... Why'd I say supplies?
What?
To Larry's surprise, the door was lifted off of him with no one touching it. The door floated over to the tree and was propped up against it. Larry nodded in approval. That'd make a great party trick. I can already see the possibilities. Excuse me, the horse asked as Larry pondered the possibilities. He looked at it and tipped his cap. Well, hi, my name's Larry, but most know me as Larry the Cable Guy. The horse's eyes widened. You mean Larry the Cable Guy's in the comedian? So, wait. After about a couple...
Twilight heard it?
After a couple paragraphs of them wondering who the fuck he is, suddenly one of them realizes who Larry the Cable Guy is.
Twilight, of all people! Or ponies, I should say.
So, oh god. Larry smiled happily now that he had found someone who knew he is. Yep, get her done! Then a thought hit him that he hadn't had before. Wait, how do you even know about me? The way I see it, no one here even knows about me. She giggled and waved him towards the open door. Oh god, here's the kicker. The princess showed a few of us comedy acts in other worlds, and one of your acts is one of the ones she showed us.
That explains everything!
Oh boy. Anyways, Larry laughed. What'd you think? She scrunched up her lips and held her hoof out in front of herself and shook it silently. You could be funnier. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Larry's mood was killed. Joy was instantly killed as she said those three words. She quickly waved her hooves in front of herself as she saw his expression drop. No. I didn't mean that's a bad thing. You're still pretty funny. This lifted Larry's spirit, but only a little. He then made a bowing motion towards the door. Shall we enter the building? He said in his most fancy voice. I already said you could go in. Oh, he said as he walked into the building. When he entered and saw the books, he easily concluded that he was in the house of a crazy person. Horse.
No, he's in a public library.
Yes. The purple horse trotted past him and pointed to a couch. You may sit there. On, miss. She slammed her hand, hoof, into her face.
I didn't tell you my name, did I?
He shook his head as he walked towards the small couch. Nope. She sighed.
Well, my name is Twilight Sparkle, star pupil of Princess Celestia.
Larry jumped up and landed on the small couch, causing it to creak slightly. Star pupil. Very impressive. I was a star pupil of someone once. Yeah, true story. The guy made a mean chicken bucket. Gotta love the Colonel. Ugh. AFC joke.
Let's...
Yes. He waited for the laughing, but it never came. She said, looking at him strangely, but then started laughing when she saw his odd expression.
The Colonel! Funny.
Larry frowned, knowing she was only pitying laughing. She looked at him and quickly ran over to his shelf, trying to fix the damage she'd done.
Hey, you want to see my most favorite book?
She said as she gently pulled out a large book. Larry looked at her eager face as she trotted over. I guess. What's it about?
It's a complete story of Equestria, she said excitedly.
He forced a smile. Oh, yay for history. She put it on his lap and began to trot off.
I'm going to get us some tea to drink while we read.
Take your time, he yelled after her. He looked down on the large book and frowned. It's like school all over again. Only this time I'm not reading a grade 0 book. Yeah. He laughed at his own joke and opened the book. He looked at the first page before turning and...
What?
His eyes widened as a page instantly ripped out of the book. Oh, God.
How the hell?
I guess he's wondering the same thing.
He tried to put the page back in, but dropped it slight, ripping out another. Panic took over, and he pushed the pages back in, followed by him slamming the book closed. But as soon as it slammed shut, he heard a faint crack. He then saw the spin of the book, a large crack going down it. Oh, come on! He grunted as he tossed the book onto the coffee table. Unbelievably, the book hit the table and somehow crumbled, turning into a pile of paper flakes and shredded leather.
Yikes! What the hell? It's like... what on earth? Was this like a fucking old book?
Anyways, how is that even possible? I think you're asking the same thing, Don, though.
Maybe.
I didn't know what kind of tea you liked, so I made one of everything.
Twilight said as he trotted back under the... Oh, God.
And now shit hits the fan.
I sense Twilight Snapple's about to come back, people.
Fire away when ready, Captain.
She put the tray down and looked around.
Huh? Where's my book?
Larry smiled nervously and pointed at the table. It did it on its own, I swear. It's Scout's honor. Her eye twitched. Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
What's next?
You destroyed a book? My most treasured book?
Larry began to back up as she began to twitch and repeat herself.
My most treasured book?
Suddenly she shot upward and screamed in rage. Her hair caught fire as her body changed to a light white.
How dare you!
Oh, fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry's of the building! Larry yelled as he hightailed it towards the only open door, the bathroom.
Yep. Please, get him out! Please, use the toilet and get out of there! Fast!
He threw through the door and slammed it shut. He pulled on a large shelf and used it to block the door. He backed up, breathing heavily. Whew! I need to lose some weight. Something slammed against the door, followed by open! Oh, God, she's pissed. Occupado! He yelled back. As she began to slam against the door, he looked around for an escape route. When his eyes landed on the toilet, if I got here by toilet, then I can get back by toilet. He slammed his... Oh, God.
Might work. Who knows? This story has no logic in it whatsoever. I
He
wouldn't be
flushed the
surprised.
toilet. He flushed the toilet and pulled his hat off. He then pushed his head down into the toilet, completely submerging his head. He began to thrust his head downward, trying to go down it like the first time. Sadly, all he did was a headache and maybe a concussion.
Punk!
Why doesn't this work? Door cracked slightly. Oh, fuck. He looked at the door, helpless. So this is how I go. Killed by a crazy talking horse.
Well, you pissed off the wrong fucking horse. Of course you're gonna die. Nice knowing you.
As that movie announcer said, you just fucked with the wrong talking horse. Anyways, right when he was giving up all hope, a light shined on him. No, literally, a beam of light shone on him. He turned and saw an open window. A very small open window. "You'll have to do!" he yelled as he jumped up and quickly made his way to the small window. Jumped through the window head first and got stuck halfway.
Fat
I knew I had a big butt. Oh god, are we gonna be having a repeat of Trixie's new Big Red Life? The great and powerful plot!
Oh god.
Anyway, a second later, he heard the sound of wood being broken in half and the sound of woods against the tile floor. Shit, she's pissed. Wait, just push me through and I'll be out of your hair! He yelled as he continued to try and push himself through the small window. Something slammed into his ass and forced him through the window. Painfully. He flew out of the window and came crashing down on a bush. He groaned and brought his hand to his face. Well, at least it's always funny to watch a fat guy fall out a window. Like you would know it. He looked up at a few horses who were nearby. Am I right? One of them smiled, but the others just shook their heads. And don't come back! Twilight screamed from the window before slamming it shut. Ugh. Damn. After dusting himself off and pulling his shorts up to hide his crack. Oh, you really had to do that?
Well, he got stuck.
Yeah. The same crowd of horses slowly began to follow. Larry walked through the town for a while, trying and failing to get the horses to laugh. As he was sitting on a bench, rubbing his stomach, Hiya! Talking cotton candy!
Talking cotton candy, you know what that means, people.
Yes. Pinkie Pie giggled. Son of a gun? What's that? Oh no.
Don't explain.
She then began to barrage him with questions, but he was too hungry to actually make out her fast word. So did you do it? She asked excitedly. Do what? She rolled her eyes and smiled. Did you actually go to the city to make the sun and then to the country to get the gun and go all the way to the ocean to put them together?
Where the fuck?
Let me read it again. Did you actually go to the city to make the sun and then to the country to get the gun and go all the way to the ocean to put them together?
I'm trying not to laugh at this. I'm trying and failing.
Anyways, Larry looked at her in complete confusion. What are you even talking about? I was talking out about... Wait! Now I remember what I'm here for and we're missing it! Missing what? Follow me! Larry sighed and slowly walked after the pink horse. Pinkie Pie led him through the town, yelling for him to hurry. Larry just lagged behind, stomach roaring in anger. After a minute, she finally ran into the building. As Larry approached the building, he took notice of the crowd of ponies already surrounding the building. This slightly worried Larry as he pushed the door open. On the inside, he saw nothing but darkness. Oh, this can't be good. As soon as he took 2 steps from the door, it slammed shut. Jesus! Larry yelled out as he jumped toward the sound of the door slamming. The second his foot touched the floor, the entire room lit up, followed by a crowd screaming, "Surprise!"
What?
Larry screamed like a little girl as he saw something in front of him. He pulled back his fist and slung it forward. His fist slammed into its face and caused it to stumble back. But to Larry's surprise, the thing he had punched was a light gray horse.
A what?
The thing he had punched was a light gray horse.
A light gray horse.
Yes.
I wonder who that is.
The horses that filled the building gasped in shock. Larry looked at his still clothes. Did I just falcon punch a horse? Oh my gosh, it just knocked out Barry Punch!
That was Barry Punch ain't gray.
Larry looked around, a smile forming on his face. How did I knock her out? I just Barry punched her. Oh!
Ah! Fuck!
Oh my gosh. He laughed at his joke, followed by half of the crowd of horses. He'd finally made most of them laugh. So for the next 5 minutes, Larry tried to make the other half laugh, but was unable to make a few of them laugh. Not even his best gator joke made him laugh. He finally threw his hands up in the air and planted himself in front of the foot table. Now this is how you eat, he yelled as he stuffed sweets into his mouth. After scarfing out a pound of chocolate, he wiped his hands on his shirt. As he did this, his hand ran over something hard in his shirt pocket. He opened the pocket and pulled out a package of jerky! I knew I had meat in my pocket! Oh, God.
And now the worst happens.
What?
You know jerky's made of animal, right?
Yes, I know. He pulled the bag open and let the smell of moist beef jerky flow up into his nostrils. But what he didn't know was that he was next to a fan which was blowing straight out of the crowd of horses.
The worst is going to happen. I just know it.
As soon as the smell reached them, all their noses tilted upward and sniffed the air. Soon all eyes were on Larry again. What's that? A small horse asked as they all stared at him with raised eyebrows. He looked at them all and smiled. Come on, don't tell me you don't know what jerky is. He pulled out a piece and put it in his mouth. Can I have some? The horse asked. A cowboy hat? Oh, the irony! The cowboy hat wearing horse told it. Excuse me? Larry chuckled and held out a piece of jerky. The horse looked it over and bit down on it and began to chew on it. How's it taste? Larry asked, waiting for an answer. Horse chewed, nodding something. Tastes funny. Larry shrugged. I don't know why. It's beef. Best kind. Horse instantly stopped chewing. It's what? Beef. You know, cow? Larry said, a tone like it should know that. The horse instantly spit out the jerky and began to force out the smaller piece. Yeah, you tricked me into eating meat! He yelled in fury, still spitting. All the horses instantly began to gag and gasp in horror. It has meat? That thing made Applejack? Oh, shit.
And he upsets the crowd again. He better find a way home fast.
Larry watched as the crowd slowly became more and more angry, most already advancing on it. What? It's just beef. It's not like I made her eat horse, which in some cultures is good eating.
Dude, Larry, quit digging yourself into that hole you're already in. Quit digging deeper.
More and more.
This caused all of them to instantly turn hostile and move towards him. Larry began to back up, holding his hand up. Okay, all you horses, let's not do something we'll all regret. When they all continued to advance, Larry took matters into his own hands. He looked around and... Stand back! I have a pen and I think I know how to use it!
What?
I have a pen and I think I know how to use it!
A pen?
Yes.
Oh, God. That ain't gonna help you.
This was pointless as they all just quickened their pace. Aw, shit. Larry looked around for an escape route, but there were none in front of him. When he turned around, he saw a fairly large window. Perfect! He yelled as he bolted towards it. Behind him, he could hear the sound of the horse's hooves slamming against the hardwood floor. Larry ran all the way to the window and jumped for it. His upper body smashed through the glass, but instead of soaring through it, his lower half slammed into the window sill. Why, body? Why?
Ouch.
Suddenly, something latched onto his shorts and pulled. Larry, in an act of genius, used one hand to reach down and unbutton his shorts.
Better hope he has underwear on.
The second the button was undone, he fell forward, hit the ground, and instantly jumped up. Ha-ha! His victory was cut short when he looked down and saw his boxers. Oh, hell. Get back here! Larry jumped and began to sprint away, his shirt bouncing with his body. Behind him, he could hear the angry shouts of horses. Why am I running? How is they supposed to outrun horses? I can ask that same question.
Yeah.
Good luck.
He continued to run down the street till he came to a turn, but when he tried to turn down to run it, he slammed into a tall white horse. He rebounded back a little and looked up at it. Oh, thank the almighty Lord, a real horse! He yelled as he ran back to it and forcibly jumped onto its back.
Why am I
Hi-ho, Silver! Get off my back, you ape! The horse yelled as it flared its wings.
Oh. Who?
When Larry hit the ground, he rolled over and groaned. Why does this happen every time I mount something? Get up, ape! The large horse commanded. Larry looked at it and stood. Why does everyone call me that? crowd of horses came to a stop behind him, watching him in the lorry. Princess Celestia! Oh!
Oh!
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Team try to ride!
Oh god. Oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Please.
Who are you, and how did you come to be in this world? A large white horse demanded, staring at him with his cold eyes. Larry lifted his hat and ran his hand over his short hair. Well, horse lady, I'm Larry the Cable Guy, and I got here through the anus of a horse. Creepy, I know, but it happened. The large horse slammed its hoof onto its face and groaned. I didn't want him! I wanted Jeff Dunham!
Oh my god! Oh man, we admit it! Ponies want our comedians!
Larry gawked at the horse. What are you talking about? Looked at him calmly. I cast a spell to bring the great ventriloquist Jeff Dunham here to our world to form a show, but somehow we ended up with you. What a disappointment.
Quick, send him back!
Larry crossed his arms. Okay, you listen here, horse. I'm just as good as he is, maybe not better, but I'm pretty damn funny. Do Ahmed then.
What?
Do Ahmed then.
Oh, he's not gonna do it.
Silence! I kill you!
Nope. Fail.
Fail. Just fail, it said, shaking his head. So what? I'm so funny in my own way. Please, just get rid of him. His comedy hurts my eyes, Twilight said, holding a hoof in front of her face. Yeah, send me away. Send me back to the place where I'm funny, Larry said, pointing a finger at everyone. Oh, we're sending you back. We wanted real talent, not this, Celestia said. Larry facepalm. Just send me back and stop talking. Very well. Larry looked around. So how do I act back? The way you came, of course. Larry looked at where it was pointing and saw the blue horse before the white ass he came out of.
Oh god. Let me guess. He's back in its pot. He's back in the potty, is he?
The horse pointed a leg at him and stopped towards him angrily. You left me in that forest all by myself. I'm going to... what's that?
What?
Goodbye, Larry the Cable Guy. May you never grace Heartland again. The large white horse said as its horn began to glow. Larry's body was engulfed in a white light and he zipped up. Likewise, the blue horse's ass began to glow.
Whoa, what?
The blue horse's ass began to glow. The horse looked back and groaned. Not again! Larry's body shot forward straight for the horse. His body tilted until his head was pointed straight ahead. No, please, no!
Now where is he going?
Larry began to yell as he neared the
Please
horse's
do
back.
not tell me. No.
When Larry's body reached the horse's backside, he felt the whole stretch over his body.
What? Whoa.
He felt the whole stretch over his body.
I'm trying to understand it because I think my fucking
Wait,
headphones
hold
are
on.
crazy.
If he... Hold on. He went out into the toilet and out of...
Damn it! Hang on.
the mare and end up looking at a mare's butt. So does it mean to go back he has to go in the mare's butt or in the pony's butt and out the toilet? Oh god.
As far as in now, I think he just walked around it. Or
Hang
maybe
on.
not. anyways, let's finish this. When Larry's body reached the horse, he began to swerve through an even tighter tunnel through the last... It's like I'm being reborn! He yelled at the walls and the hardened plastic. He looked up and saw a faint light. Suddenly his body shot upward and into a small enclosed space. He slammed into a hard roof and fell back to the ground. He landed on the seat of a toilet and groaned. It's always me, isn't it? Larry, you okay in there? He heard someone yell from outside. Larry rubbed his face and stood up. After a few seconds, he reached forward and opened the door. When he stepped out, he saw his camera crew in the lockers they were filming. Wasn't that a surprise?
Finally he's home. And?
Hang on. Sorry, girl, it's Julia.
Yeah. Is there something wrong?
No. Just had to clear something up. She was... What? Yes, looking inside confusion. Where's your shorts? Larry looked down at... Oh, a horse ripped them off me while I was in the toilet. He said that.
I bet he's done.
Whatever you say, Larry. Just hurry up and put him back on. We have to get back to filming. Lost him. Then he clapped his hands together. Forget the shorts! I'm going to finish the show in my underwear! Only you, Larry. Yep, only me. And that is how Equestria learned to love comedians.
And why Larry the Cable Guy is permanently banned from Equestria. Right, we went through 2 horrifying stories, now we have to go through a story with a horrifying comedian.
I actually like Larry the Cable Guy. He's actually funny.
Yeah, well, his situation's not that very good in here. He's being rednecky and you know, eating meat, while the ponies here, unfortunately, don't eat so much meat.
Yeah, that was his mistake.
Yeah, that's just fucked up. Oh my god. Anyways, oh god, 2 hours, damn. Damn meat spirit. Anyways, I think we're good on this fanfic